What topic makes you immediately tune out of a conversation? Politics, religion and/or sexual preference, gender issues. I have my thoughts on each matter with regard to my life, but I don't push my positions on others. I don't want to discuss them. I don't care to hear what your thoughts on them are. I don't want to argue or debate. I'm tired of being bombarded by these topics at every turn. When people try to force the topics despite knowing I have no interest in discussion, I think less of them and do my best to avoid being around them in the future. I'm not sure if I will get a bit of hate for this, but for me it's politics. I'm not apolitical per se, I have my own beliefs and dislikes. I just have literally zero interest in knowing about anyone else's. I'm happy to sometimes chat about social topics that obviously are involved within the political atmosphere, but I don't care at all when people say I support. I voted for politics, and other people's sex lives, to each their own, but I don't feel like I need to know about it. I don't mind listening to topics that don't particularly interest me, as long as the other person is passionate about it. Some people just need a safe place to info dump, and if I care about the person enough, I'll happily listen and try to match their energy. When people talk about something they ate, I do not care at all. Yesterday you got Dutch Brothers and you kind of wanted a Rebel, but usually those give you stomach aches, so you ordered a raspberry pineapple Rebel with tahini on top. And it was so good, bruh, and the barista was hella complimenting my hair. She was such a vibe, I almost asked for her Instagram. Sleeping face, sleeping face, sleeping face. Kids. When I'm around your kids I will be kind of engaging. If they need help, I will help. But if we're all having drinks after work or there are no kids around, JFC, do not talk about your kids. They are good kids, but only you love your kids. They are curious and interesting only to you. I may be downvoted for this, but I know I'm not alone. Anything with gambling. They are either mad they lost and want a bet, which I don't want to hear, cause you're the reason you have no money. Or you're happy you won but aren't going to share it because of your last time. It isn't even a win, you're barely breaking even. So just don't tell me about it whether you win or lost, lol. It's a waste. Sports absolutely have no interest in your fantasy whatever league or who did what however many times. It has zero effect in my life or the world at large and is a gross money-making venture for a bunch of overly inflated egos. I personally believe the old adage that says sports is the opioid of the masses. But this is just my opinion. Politics and religion. I refuse to discuss it because it bit me in the ass every time, in the past, that someone wanted my opinion. I really don't gaff what someone believes, and I prefer if they don't inquire about my beliefs. It never ends well. If either topic gets brought up, I see myself out of the conversation. I choose peace. Sports, unless you are playing them yourself, in which case I will gladly support your interest. But I personally don't care how some star athlete is doing this season, the next big fight, how many medals we won at the Olympics, or how the team you are rooting for is playing against some other team that you don't like. Golf. The most boring sport ever makes for the most boring conversations ever. Hunting. In the case of deer population management, I get the need for it. What I don't understand is the enjoyment people get out of killing celebrities. Those are not real people. What we see are the products of a publicity machine. When American Christians start throwing out their pet theories on end times Bible prophecy. No, I don't care about who you think the Antichrist is. No, I don't think this current event means the end is nigh. No, the mark of the beast isn't a barcode. No, there aren't Apache attack helicopters in Revelation. Sports. People talk to me about some team doing something and my eyes glaze over. I sometimes watch hockey or bull riding because those are at least interesting, but I don't know shit about them. When sports comes up the conversation starts sounding like adults in the Charlie Brown cartoons. Birth stories. Don't get me wrong, I am a woman and I understand the need to talk about the experience. But as someone who had a traumatic birth, and as someone who is struggling with their reproductive health, it's just not something I can be around. Better to walk away. Sports. Never got into it, and it seems like one of those hobbies you have to watch every single game and even go so far as to know every decent player of every team over the last few years to be involved in any conversation about any sport. It seems exhausting. Sports. I also avoid politics and religion unless I'm talking with someone I'm close with. And no, not because I don't like talking to people with whom I disagree. I just don't trust the average American to be civil when such issues are broached. Every time I'd visit my dad, he talks about we need to make mood money as a family. BC can't fund the lifestyle he wants to live. BC is too lazy, so he wants us to fund it. I tune him out every time he talks about money or anything related to it. Tattoos. I can like the look of them on people, but I have no general interest in them and I don't have any on me can afford, and I have a group of friends who all have tattoos. Those conversations are the perfect time for me to daydream. Christianity or any of its branches. I don't care whatsoever. I do find other religions more interesting. Even as an atheist I would respectfully listen to what other cultures believe in, but Christianity is guaranteed to make me walk away. Sports. American football fans have turned me off to any organized sports. I'll watch artistic events like gymnastics or figure skating, but I can't stand watching or talking about football, soccer, basketball, baseball, etc. Sports suck. Why can't people just play the game and leave it at that? Why must they talk endlessly about it? How many channels on radio and TV are exclusively about sports? Who wants to listen to that all the time? When a person interrupts a person telling a story with their own version of similar events, hijacks the conversation to talk about themselves instead of listening and letting the person complete their story. Hate that. Gossip. I work with a lot of older men and women 50s to 70s, and all they really do is gossip, and gossip some more, before getting pissed off when someone gossips about them. It's annoying. Cars. I just have never been really into them or care, and it's a topic guys love to bring up. I just want to get point A to point B, I don't give a shit how much torque your Subaru has in it. Larry. What they saw on TikTok. My eyes roll hard. How great Biden is. Their stance on male circumcision. Religion. Their veganism. How being overweight is good, exercise is bad. Their love sex life, reinforcing gender norms. Facts about God's will. Why people deserve to suffer. Why my brand's sport team city culture race gender religion niche fanboying is objectively better than yours. Pregnancy. I worked in OBGYN for a number of years, and whenever someone found out they would always talk it not to me about their past, present, future pregnancies. I just don't care. Political. 36 and I know it doesn't matter who you vote for, Republican, Democrat, you'll be FCK either way. I said what I said, I'll die on that hill. Both parties are paid off honestly. Atheist versus religious debate. Just let people believe what they want to believe or not believe. Don't like it when people try and force their opinions down other people's throat. Crypto. Holy shit, I find it so boring. But watching content about crypto scammers on YouTube is the guilty pleasure of mine. Just can't care when someone I know is getting into it. Politics, but especially when everybody agrees and argues anyways. Happens a lot in my family where everyone is on the same side, but it still turns into a heated debate somehow. Anything involving politics. IDKY, but I was downvoted to hell the last time for answering like this in a similar post. Reddit be weird with politics or the mention of it. Religion. Failed sales pitches about someone's new business, product, service, cars, fashion, celebrity gossip, most sports, conspiracy theories, petty complaints about almost everything I don't like has already been mentioned. So I'll add something which I feel like hasn't been mentioned yet. Religious wars. Anytime people are talking about the current thing. I don't care what it is, it's so boring to hear people parrot talking points to each other. COVID. I don't fucking care. I don't care if you took the vaccine. I don't care if you didn't. I don't care what you think about their efficacy. Video games. I don't game, but all my friends do, so it's kinda hard to be included in a convo with them. BC they quickly go to that topic, as soon as they change it to anything that has to do with their offspring, especially if the convo had nothing to do with children. People in a group talking about other people you don't know or past experiences you weren't part of with them. Like I don't care. House repair. No, I don't care if you got new windows installed, good for you. Please FFS, let's talk about something interesting. Any controversial political topic. For example, abortion. No, I'm not going to discuss abortion at family dinner, thanks though. Complaining about personal problems incessantly. Especially when they have obvious answers. Then shooting down solutions. People making travel plans or talking about hobbies. At least when you know it's going to lead to some humble bragging. Talking about someone who was never given the opportunity to defend themselves. I.e. they were never asked their side. People talking about overhyped conservative news stories that aren't true. Like kids using litter boxes in schools. Babies, toddlers. Just because you become a parent, doesn't mean you lose every other aspect of your personality. Stolen election, January 6th rioters are martyrs for Trump, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Oh, and football. People who talk about work on the lunch break, what's the hurry? We can talk about work after the break. Superhero movies. My fiance loves them and I have tried to force myself to like them and I just can't. Dumb stories with way too many details about other people. Basically every conversation with my mom. Lol. Horoscopes, anti-vaxxer stuff, religion talk, anything overly emotive and they don't want us to know. I don't care for football, basketball or hockey. I do love baseball and my team in particular. Politics or religion. I love passionate people, about almost anything tbh, but those two things, politics or TikTok trends. My brain shuts off when topics I'm not interested in are brought up. Conspiracy theories. My husband bangs on about how everything is a conspiracy. FFS. Religion or politics. You'll never change my mind and I'll never change yours. Politics. Almost nobody actually wants to discuss, they just want to soapbox. Jesus. If I never had to hear about Jesus ever again I would be so happy. Cars. It's got a 443 fuel injection blah 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 repetitive stories especially if they weren't that great to begin with. Protestant Christians will understand this Calvinism versus Arminianism. That damn Joe Biden will immediately end a conversation with me. Influencers. I do not know who you're talking about and do not care. When people try to normalize things like porn, drugs, cheating etc. Fantasy football. I don't care about your fantasy football team, Trump not being a criminal and everything is a hoax against him. The stock market. I do not understand any of it, nor do I care. Talking about other people's appearance or failure. Do better. Their kids or grandkids. Could not be less interested thanks.